So students, we studied about friction force and important point or aspects of friction we studied. Now we are going to classify friction. It's very simple. All the terms in frictions have literal meaning. Say for example, we know static friction. Now suppose I am trying to push this table and the table is not moving. So the friction force operating between the table and the surface of floor is the static friction. Alright, that is the first thing. Then secondly, we now go to dynamic friction. I start pushing this and it is moving now. Or say for example, to be more clear, if I am pushing it, it's not moving, then it is static, but it moves. Still you can see that there is some force which you have to overcome to let this thing move. So that is known as dynamic friction. So static friction offered when body is at rest. Friction offered when body is at rest. Dynamic friction offered when body is moving. Now sliding friction is the same, like you slide on a slide when you are going down. When you are on a slide, when you are playing, when you are small, you must be having a lot of slides in your school. And when you go down, you will feel that your movement is being opposed, and that is why you go down slowly. If there is less friction, you remember some of the places where you have got in water parks, there are slides, and then how do they increase the speed? They reduce the friction by allowing water to fall with you. Then what happens? The surface in contact becomes slippery, and therefore the surfaces become smooth a little bit, and that is why you have less friction and you move faster in those slides. But if it is totally dry, you will go down slowly, gradually. Suppose this is the slide you are sitting on, and say for example, this is you are not going down. This is the slide, and this stick is you. Now you are going down like this. But if water is there, then the friction force will reduce and you will go much faster. So sliding friction means that when both the surfaces are in contact and flat surfaces, sliding friction operates between flat surfaces. Then we have got rolling friction. Now suppose I take out the cap to make it roll a little bit, and then you keep it here, and then another one here. You are keeping it here, and then you just check on now. Now when I am applying the force, this is easy to move. Now when I was doing like this, it was not so easy. Now it is going so fast. So rolling friction is when the two surfaces have wheels in between. So that is rolling friction. Sometimes the floor has got wheels or rollers, and the person moving like on treadmill, when you go, there are some treadmills which have got rollers and you have to run. So that is where, and then you've got limiting friction has got a very, very important concept. Try to understand. If I'm moving this with 5 Newton, it does not move. Then I'm moving it with 6 Newton, it does not move. Then I'm pushing it now with 10 Newton, it does not move. But 11, it just starts to move. So at 11 Newton is the limiting friction. That means the minimum force needed to just start a body moving on another surface. So again, it's just, just start a body moving on another surface. So there, don't mind my writing normally. So that is there. So now how do we reduce friction? That is also very, very important. How do we reduce friction? So we reduce friction. See, this, as we said, that the friction force is a force operating between two bodies in contact. So now if these two bodies are in contact, their surfaces are, though they appear to be very smooth, but their surfaces have got edges, ridges and all. So they get interlocked. So we put in some lubricant to make it slippery. So we can minimize friction by smoothing the surface of contact. Many way we can do. Either we can make the surfaces very plain, which we can try, or we can using sandpaper and all, applying on that, and or we can use lubricants. And also we can convert sliding friction to rolling friction by putting in wheels. You see, when you are pulling your luggages, in ancient time we did not have that luggage facility to pull our bags, so we used to carry our suitcases. Now you see the VIP fellow coming, and the fellow will pull, and then they will try to say, come on, buy one VIP. It's so easy to move because it's got wheels. So that is what is there. For friction 4 having competitive edge, I will put another thing which is got which is important for competition. When you are calculating the force this way and the friction force, there is always there is a coefficient of friction through which we do numericals and frictions. So that will be we will be placing on competitive windows of our videos, because this is CBSE 8 purely. So we go to limit ourselves to that CBSE 8. Now let's once more. So here what is written, friction force can be auto adjusting. The direction of friction is always opposite to the direction of the motion. You go push this way, friction force acts the opposite way. You go and push from that side and the friction force acts on the opposite side, and it is preventing the motion. Then we can reduce friction by making surfaces in contact. So here red mark for correction. Contact smooth, applying lubricants. We can reduce friction by converting sliding friction to rolling friction. That's very, very important. Converting sliding friction to rolling friction. That's how most of the vehicles or the big things to be moved from one place to another place. So you can apply that. Suppose you have to move a heavy box at your home, just place in a roller or a wicket or something like that, which is cylindrical, and you see there will be movement. Thank you.